Well, good evening, everybody. David Paul here in the KHOU 11 Weather Center, and we've got a chance for a severe thunderstorm to rumble through and across Houston and southeast Texas late tonight into the wee hours of Tuesday morning. They're associated with a cold front. This one doesn't have much cold air with it at all. It will be cooler tomorrow morning, and then we'll still warm up. But what this will do is tonight bring a line of storms that may produce severe weather, and if we're going to get severe weather tonight, the greatest threat will be straight line wind damage, just straight line thunderstorm winds. Maybe some small hail, maybe an isolated tornado, maybe. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. But overall, this looks like a setup where we could see some gusty downburst wind, and then that would create straight line wind damage in some of these storms as they come through late tonight and early tomorrow morning. So the timing on this, when? Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's the most likely scenario for the line to cross northwest to southeast across Houston and southeast Texas. And again, straight line wind damage, the greatest severe weather threat, maybe an isolated tornado with this line of weather. Now, all that being said, we look at the radar right now, and in the past hour, we've had a broken line of thunderstorms develop out to the west-northwest of Houston, west of Columbus out toward Gonzales, still west of Brenham, but just grazing western Washington County. Thunderstorms near Bryan College Station have popped up. That one's going to miss Navasota, just to the northwest of Navasota. And then Huntsville, those storms are still north and west of you. And from time to time, we've had these orange boxes pop up. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings for hail and gusty straight line winds. And so that's what we've seen so far. The pink area to our northwest is a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect through the evening and overnight until these storms end up and pass through. At the moment, Houston and southeast Texas is not officially included in that right now, but I think it's likely that at least our northern counties get lit up in that type of a thunderstorm watch as we move a little deeper into the evening. Right now, just passing scattered showers, Galveston, Chambers, Liberty County, and a couple of showers toward Matagorda Bay, Palacios, and Matagorda. Closer view, these are where the stronger storms are right now. This one west of Carlos, northwest of Navasota, near Bryan College Station. Plenty of lightning and thunder there, but at the moment that one's not severe. This one is severe near Lovelady, just north of the northern tip of Lake Livingston. This one's racing northeast at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. It's going to miss Lake Livingston. A little bit further to the west-southwest, this is 290 out past Brenham, Carmine to Giddings. And then this is I-10, Sealy, Columbus, Schulenburg, and out toward west of Flatonia. That's where we're getting the western edge of that line of scattered thunderstorms. LaGrange is getting a thunderstorm right now. But again, those are at the moment not reaching severe limits, and they're still west of our county warning area. They're west of Colorado County. They're west of Austin County. They're just hitting the western edge of Washington County where Brenham is. So that's where the storms are located right now. Bigger picture, there's actually another line of storms off to the north and west. There they are. And I think this is going to be the stronger and perhaps main line of storms that races across East Texas tonight, all being driven by a couple of things. Rotating low pressure at the surface and mid-levels, and then at the surface a cold front. That will help to lift the atmosphere as all this comes across East Texas over the next several hours. Let me take off all the moving wind stream lines and the severe weather watches and warnings. And here's what the radar has done over the past 3 hours. You can see a couple of showers coming off the Gulf. Line number 1 here developing. And although this line has developed, it hasn't moved much. Notice how this one really is getting a push to the east. I think it will be this line that finally gets everything a push to the east and finally moves stuff across here. And that will be as we go in toward 9, 10, 11 midnight tonight for Houston and southeast Texas. Here's the way the computer models see this moving through. First, I'll start with the big picture, then we're going to zoom in. Here's the system right now. It's already creating that rain chance in East Texas. The front pushes into Houston and deep East Texas as we head toward midnight, 1 a.m. tonight. And then everything races east, and we clear out as we head toward the sunrise tomorrow morning. At least the rain comes to an end. But just looking at this, we're going to get a little wraparound moisture on the backside of that going into tomorrow afternoon and evening. So we may end up being cloudy and a little cooler tomorrow. Not cold. There's not any cold air with this frontal boundary. It is cooler air. Here's a closer view of that same model run. So let's zoom in on tonight. Here we are at 7 p.m. And this is a rapid refresh model, but it has not picked up on that line of showers that's developed off to the northwest. So this one has not initiated just perfectly, but I think it has a good handle on how tonight's going to play out. We'll get this line forming off to our west toward 10 o'clock. Models want to bring this line of thunderstorms in toward the immediate Houston area, basically up and down the 59 corridor by midnight 30 tonight. That's when our greatest threat for severe weather appears to be. And then the line races toward our coastal counties, Bay City, Angleton, Alvin, League City, Baytown, Liberty, up towards Spurger and just west of Beaumont by 2 a.m. And then after that, the storms very quickly race off the coast. So Galveston, it may be 2:30 in the morning that you get that line of storms rumbling through, and then it races off very quickly. It doesn't sit and rain on any one spot for too terribly long. Because of that, when we look at our severe weather threat with this line of storms tonight, the flooding threat is very low. We're not concerned about flash flooding. I think the greatest threat, because of the speed of the line and because of the upper level profile, will be strong straight line winds. We may get some downburst winds in some of these storms. The wind races down, hits the ground, then pushes out ahead of the line of thunderstorms. That can create straight line winds of 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. Again, hail, a slight threat, flooding is very slim. Tornado, I can't rule out an isolated tornado with this system. And here's why. We've got this wind at the surface coming out of the southeast. And while that's happening, up at the middle and upper levels of the atmosphere, winds are blowing in a completely different direction. They're coming out of the west. And so what you've got here is the description of wind shear, wind direction and speed changing with height. And if you get a strong thunderstorm in that type of a wind scenario, you can get a little bit of rotation. It's not the most powerful tornado setup I've ever seen. In fact, it's actually kind of marginal. But it's there, and so maybe we get an isolated tornado. If we're going to see that, most likely it would be one of the stronger storms with the deeper updrafts, and those with this line are much more likely to occur here in our northern third, basically from Spring Creek, Waller, Spring Woodlands, Humble, Kingwood, northward toward Conroe, Montgomery, Huntsville, Livingston, College Station, and Navasota. So that's the greatest threat for a stronger thunderstorm, but even then, it's a 2 on a 2 to 5 scale, so it's on the lower end of the threat. I think the biggest thing we're looking at tonight is some gusty wind. If it's trash night in your neighborhood, maybe you don't want to put those cans out. If you've got some loose, very light furniture, lawn furniture outside, maybe you want to bring that in. So if you do get in one of these storms where it produces these strong gusty winds, you won't get your chairs and stuff tossed around, and that can cause more damage than the wind itself. Quick look at the extended. We're going to clear out. So cool tomorrow, 58, then 74, 50, 78 on Wednesday. That's gorgeous. We got a slight rain chance Thursday evening. That's St. Patrick's Day with another one of these little fronts coming in. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the coming weekend, look gorgeous. So that's where we stand right now. Let me just give you a quick update again. We'll go back to the radar so you can see where we stand and where we're setting up right now. So it's a broken line of thunderstorms right now, from Gonzales to just west of Brenham to Bryan to Madisonville. These are not racing in here right now. It's that secondary line further to the northwest that I think will eventually give this all a push across the area tonight. And we're on severe weather watch. And can you see what's changed in just the last couple of minutes since we began this broadcast here on social? Most of southeast Texas now included in a new severe thunderstorm watch. That's just popped up since we've been on the air. Let me take a closer look at this and see how long this is going to be in effect for. We'll bring up the data. And okay, so here we go. We're looking at this severe thunderstorm watch, Fort Bend, Harris, Montgomery, Waller County. So this would be in effect until 2 a.m. So now it includes most of the Houston and greater Houston area. That does not include the immediate coastal counties. That's until 2 a.m. And that pretty much agrees with the computer models we just looked at as far as the timing. Stronger line of storms really develops here around 10 o'clock, moves through downtown around 1 a.m., pushes into the coastal counties by 2 a.m., and then off the coast after that. So that's where we stand right now. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Houston and the greater Houston, southeast Texas area till 2 a.m. At the moment, nothing severe in our area, but as we go deeper into the evening, we'll be watching the radar very carefully. We'll break in here if necessary, But the big thing is we'll have a complete update and a live update going into the 10 o'clock news tonight on the TV side, and that's when we expect to see this line of storms getting its act together and pushing into our northwest counties, right as the 10 o'clock news is beginning. And I'll put up that computer run here as well. We can take another look at that. Yeah, here we are going into 10 o'clock, and this would be the line of storms that will eventually cross the area, and that's the line of storms that we would be most concerned with. That's where we stand right now. Keeping a close eye on it this evening. We'll keep you posted on social. Live update on the TV side on KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock.